Couple offers man food, not realizing who he is. He only wanted to enjoy the anniversary present that his wife had bought him, but had no idea how much humiliation he would be met with. John felt his lips dry as he ran the scenario through his head multiple times. Finally, he walked up to the security guard and pointed the man out in the crowd. But he had no idea that the security was well aware of the man and itching to swarm in when things went wrong. John Tremblay was born and raised in Toronto, Canada. He was a quiet and conserved man who was lucky enough to have a wonderful life. He met the girl of his dreams at a young age and would end up marrying her. But John had no idea that in just a few weeks, he would have a camera pointed at his face with thousands watching, humiliated beyond anything he had ever experienced. John was enjoying his retirement after working hard his whole life to provide for his family. After marrying his girlfriend, Jeanette, the couple had 3 kids who were now all grown up and out of the house. John missed them dearly but enjoyed his retirement years with only his wife. But nobody knew how events would turn out with something that started as innocent as an anniversary present. John and Jeanette had recently celebrated their 30th anniversary. John wanted to show Jeanette his love was just as strong as it had always been, so he bought her a beautiful chain necklace. But the innocent present that Jeanette had gotten John would end in a confrontation with a stranger that the local security was looking for. John was a basketball fanatic. He used to play in his younger years and had an appreciation for the game. And it just so happened that his favorite team was playing in their own home city of Toronto. But he had no idea who would unexpectedly come into their lives as a result of the present. John couldn't believe what Jeanette had gotten him for their anniversary: 2 tickets to the upcoming Oklahoma City Thunder versus Houston Rockets game. The Oklahoma City Thunder had recently become one of his favorite teams to support. John felt tears of joy. They were even courtside seats. But if only he knew who would be sitting next to them at the game. John felt pride when he watched the Oklahoma City Thunder play on his television back home. He had a soft spot for the team because of one player in particular: Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Gilgeous-Alexander was a Toronto native just like John, so he loved to watch him play, but he was unaware of the consequences that being a fan of the Thunder would have on not just his time at the game, but his entire life. Finally, the day had arrived, and John and his wife dressed in winter clothes to keep warm. They headed out the door and drove to the Toronto Stadium. They stopped by the snack vendor and bought John's favorite snack, chicken and waffle sliders. Then they finally took their courtside seats to see the big game. But something was strange. They noticed more cameras and security around than usual. What was going on? John then looked at the man sitting in the seat next to them. He seemed unamused by something. Now, John was normally wary of strangers, but tried to loosen up. He offered the man one of the chicken and waffle sliders, thinking it might improve his mood. The man looked at him and smiled. But around 10 minutes after he'd done what he thought was a good deed, he noticed security guards were looking him up and down. Had he somehow incriminated himself by interacting with the man? Then he felt like he recognized the man from somewhere. He remembered a news segment he saw on TV recently about a wanted man on the run. Did the security know something that he didn't? John had never been a man of action, but he decided he had to do something if this man was dangerous. He told his wife to keep her distance while he raced to the nearest security guard. He needed to let them know who this man was. But he had no idea that it would end with thousands of eyes on him. The security guard seemed on edge when he mentioned the man and gestured towards him. John could see a concern in his eyes. They were definitely there for the man. John could see it now. It was clear now that all the security was there for the man in question. But why hadn't they done anything yet? Did they not want to cause a scene? But John wasn't ready for the real truth behind everything. He had no idea that he'd be put in a situation that would change his entire outlook on life. The security guard revealed that he was no other than Drake. Drake had been unamused by all the attention he was getting up until that point, but loved the idea that there was someone who didn't know who he was. He smiled at John and asked the videographer to come closer so everyone could get in on the fun. He called John his new friend and explained who he was. John felt a little embarrassed at first, but laughed it off with Drake, who was very friendly and seemingly happy for the change of pace. He had no idea who Drake was up until that moment. He just wanted to enjoy his anniversary present and watch the Oklahoma City Thunder, and more importantly, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander play. Funnily enough, Gilgeous-Alexander was Drake's longtime friend and one of the only reasons the celebrity was at the game. Drake smiled ear to ear after John fatefully asked him, "Are you famous or something?" It's a moment that no one will forget. Drake must be so used to crazed fans and constant attention from the paparazzi that he was certainly happy for someone to not recognize him in a world where everyone often does. He took a selfie with John and Jeanette with the caption, "My new parents,"